There are numerous stories describing the hardships which the boats and ships faced while crossing the seas and the oceans, especially in the medieval times when the mode of transportation were quite primitive and had sails dependent over it. And when you imagine the scene of the sea, when the storm is all around taking the toll on your ship, and it's all dark, raining like hell, and it's everywhere it's water, and the tides are coming, and your ship is swiveling by, and every second you think that now it's the time that it's the last that you are seeing. And it was such a haunting experience that many have described it as one of the most horrific thing that they have witnessed. Even in Robinson Crusoe, the character which was from the that novel of the same name, had faced such a storm in the sea and had lost all his group mates and was lying unconscious on an isolated island. And he wakes up some days later, he's not sure how many hours he spent, and it was so difficult to survive in the sea, and it was his determination that kept him living. Today I was watching a video of Ocean 24/7, in which the scene starts that there is a surface of water and something is there, some disturbance in the form of a small pointed like distributed scattered pattern. And once you go through it, you realize that it's the underwater video coverage of the rains from underside of the water. The rains are falling by on the surface, and slowly camera moves up to the surface and it reveals how it's like when in the storm you're underwater. Would you like to be in the storm? And then they show everywhere it's like greyish, dark, hellish, and our ship is struggling to stay atop the water. And it's such a horrific scene that anyone's mind can be blown off. I'd really commend and salute the bravery of the seamen that used to thrive in those conditions and still didn't give up. Many had lost their lives in this explorations, and sometimes to survive for as a part of their daily routine or the daily wages. Say, even in the poem of Samuel Taylor Coleridge, Ode, not the Ode to the West Wind, the rhyme of the ancient mariner, rhyme of the ancient mariner. Do you remember how bad the storm was? They had lost all the hopes, and sails had to be configured and kind of made up all the time. And it's very different to what we can experience being on the land. And sea is something that provides an entirely different level of challenge, and sometimes you realize that you are at the mercy of nature. That's what happens, and it's such a mighty force that even the mightiest ship built by the humans start feeling trivial and tiny in the front of powerful seas. Seas are something which have held the imagination of the many explorers and the brave men to conquer. Many have conquered, as in the situations have favored them, and they have been able to reach their destination. Others were a little hapless and lost their lives in the process. But seas in itself are such a different kind of atmosphere in itself that when we land dwellers enter into it, we not only merely enter physically but also have a chance of experiencing the life from a very different perspective. And the challenge that is provided to us is totally and entirely inexplainable, that has to be handled then and there. So my today's point was the fascination of sea and how it has always captured the imagination of sailors and brave men, and no matter how much challenges it has provided to humanity, humanity has always tried to conquer it. So that's all from my side today. There you go. Bye.